February 24, 1989 seemed like an ordinary day. United Airlines Flight 811 was ready to depart from Honolulu International Airport. On board were 337 passengers and 18 crew members. Led by the experienced Captain David Cronin, the flight crew conducted their pre-flight checks. At 1:52 a.m. local time, Flight 811 took off into the night sky. 23 minutes into the flight, the unthinkable happened. As the plane climbed to 22,000 feet, a deafening roar echoed through the cabin. The aircraft shook violently. Passengers were thrown from their seats. Oxygen masks dropped from the overhead compartments. Panic and chaos erupted. Unbeknownst to those on board, a cargo door had malfunctioned and blown open. The explosive decompression ripped a gaping hole in the fuselage just behind the cockpit. The cabin floor suffered extensive damage from the sudden change in pressure. 9 passengers, seated in the affected area, were tragically ejected from the aircraft, plummeting into the vastness of the Pacific Ocean below. Inside the cabin, terror reigned. As the aircraft lurched violently, debris swirled through the air. Passengers clung to their seats in fear for their lives. The roar of the wind and the screams of terrified passengers created an atmosphere of utter chaos. In the cockpit, the flight crew faced a nightmare scenario. Warning lights flashed, and alarms blared. The sudden decompression and structural damage made controlling the aircraft incredibly difficult. Captain Cronin and his co-pilot, First Officer Al Slater, fought to maintain control of the crippled aircraft. Despite the chaos, the crew reacted with remarkable skill and professionalism. They donned their oxygen masks and initiated emergency procedures. Captain Cronin, his voice remarkably calm, contacted air traffic control in Honolulu, declaring a mayday and requesting immediate assistance. The situation was dire. The aircraft, now uncontrollable, was rapidly losing altitude. With each passing second, hundreds of lives hung in the balance. The crew knew they had to act quickly and decisively if they were to have any chance of survival. Faced with a terrifying situation, Captain Cronin made the critical decision to attempt an emergency landing back at Honolulu International Airport. With remarkable skill and nerves of steel, he wrestled the damaged aircraft through the air, battling turbulence and the constant threat of complete structural failure. The descent was harrowing. The aircraft, buffeted by strong winds, made its way back towards Oahu Island. On the ground, emergency crews raced to prepare for the worst, their hearts pounding with each passing minute. At 2:50 a.m., just over an hour after the explosion, Flight 811 touched down on the runway in Honolulu. The landing was rough, the plane bouncing and shuddering as it came to a stop. But they had done it. Against all odds, Captain Cronin and his crew had brought the crippled aircraft and its terrified passengers safely back to the ground. Section 5. The Aftermath and Investigation. In the immediate aftermath of the emergency landing, the scene was one of controlled chaos. Emergency slides were deployed, and passengers and crew evacuated the aircraft as quickly as possible. Ambulances and fire trucks surrounded the plane, their lights flashing in the darkness. Miraculously, despite the severity of the incident, there were no fatalities on the ground. Of the 354 souls on board Flight 811, only the 9 passengers who had been ejected from the aircraft during the decompression were lost. Their bodies were never recovered. An investigation into the cause of the accident began immediately. The National Transportation Safety Board launched a full-scale investigation, determined to understand what went wrong and prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. Section 6. The cargo door malfunction. A closer look. The NTSB investigation focused on the cargo door that had failed, causing the explosive decompression. The door, located on the right side of the aircraft's fuselage, was designed to open outward, creating a seal against the internal pressure of the aircraft. Investigators discovered that the door's locking mechanism had malfunctioned. A combination of factors, including wear and tear, improper maintenance, and design flaws, contributed to the catastrophic failure. The investigation revealed that the electrical wiring in the locking mechanism had degraded over time, making it highly susceptible to short circuits. This, along with a faulty switch, prevented the door from closing securely. As the aircraft reached a certain altitude, the pressure differential between the cabin and the outside air proved too great for the compromised door to withstand. Section 7. The role of fatigue and maintenance. The NTSB investigation also examined the role of human error and maintenance practices in the Flight 811 incident. While the primary cause of the accident was the cargo door malfunction, investigators found that fatigue and inadequate maintenance procedures may have contributed to the severity of the incident. The investigation revealed that the maintenance crews responsible for inspecting the cargo doors had been working long hours under considerable pressure. Investigators concluded that this fatigue could have led to oversights and a failure to identify the developing problems with the door's locking mechanism. The NTSB also found that United Airlines maintenance procedures for cargo doors were not as rigorous as they should have been. The airline had not implemented some safety recommendations made by the aircraft manufacturer Boeing, which could have potentially prevented the accident. Section 8. Impact on aviation safety regulations. The tragic incident involving United Airlines Flight 811 had a profound impact on aviation safety regulations worldwide. The NTSB investigation and its subsequent recommendations led to significant changes in the design, maintenance, and operation of aircraft cargo doors. One of the most significant changes was the redesign of the cargo door locking systems on the Boeing 747 and other aircraft. The new designs incorporated redundant locking features and improved electrical systems to prevent similar failures from occurring. The incident also led to stricter maintenance procedures for cargo doors, with a greater emphasis on inspections and testing of the locking mechanisms. Airlines and maintenance crews became more vigilant in identifying and addressing potential issues before they could lead to catastrophic failures. Section 9. The legacy of Flight 811. The legacy of United Airlines Flight 811 has endured in the years since the incident. The lessons learned from this tragedy continue to shape the aviation industry today. The incident highlighted the role of human factors in aviation safety. The NTSB's findings on fatigue and maintenance practices raised awareness. Airlines and regulators implemented new policies. The story of Flight 811 is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Many passengers and crew members displayed courage and compassion. Their stories continue to inspire us. Section 10. Stories of survival and heroism. In the aftermath of the Flight 811 incident, stories of survival and heroism emerged, showcasing the extraordinary strength and compassion of those on board. Passengers and crew members alike faced the terrifying ordeal with bravery, helping one another through the chaos and uncertainty. One such story is that of flight attendant Clarabelle Lansing. Despite being seriously injured during the decompression, Lansing remained calm and collected, tending to injured passengers and providing comfort and reassurance amidst the pandemonium. Her actions earned her the respect and admiration of her colleagues and the flying public. Another remarkable story is that of passenger Lee Campbell. Campbell, a former military pilot, used his knowledge of aviation and emergency procedures to assist the flight crew during the emergency landing. His calm demeanor and quick thinking helped maintain order in the cabin and undoubtedly saved lives. Section 11. Conclusion. A testament to human resilience. The story of United Airlines Flight 811 serves as a stark reminder of the ever-present risks associated with air travel. It is a story of mechanical failure, human error, and the terrifying consequences that can occur when these factors converge. Yet, it is also a story of extraordinary courage, resilience, and the indomitable human spirit. The skill and heroism of the flight crew in bringing the crippled aircraft safely back to the ground averted what could have been a far greater tragedy. Their actions, along with the bravery and compassion displayed by many of the passengers and crew members, serve as an inspiration to us all. The legacy of Flight 811 lives on in the advancements in aviation safety and the countless lives saved as a result of the lessons learned. This incident stands as a testament to the importance of continuous improvement, vigilance, and an unwavering commitment to safety that defines the aviation industry today.